Alright guys, it is Blockchain coming at you with another Bitcoin and altcoin and I guess a couple stock market technical analysis updates. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Corey, aka Blockchain. I am primarily an Elliott wave trader. I am in a couple different areas in the market. And I'll be sharing some of my technical analysis on the crypto and traditional markets here. But first thing I want to start off on is my website, and it's in the link below, blockchaintatrading.com. Once you jump over there, get this little button right here that says get for free now. Is actually my #1 trading strategy that is consistent, profitable, and yes, you can apply it to any market, as well as the exclusive Discord that I have. You actually can get in for a 7-day trial, see what it's all about, where you actually get to see some of my technical analysis and some signals for some scalps, some swings in the crypto and traditional fields. I'll give you a little sneak peek here. This is one that was actually running a few today, so I actually had a long call, both take profits hit, then a short call, both take profits hit, long, and then another take profit on that one. So pretty juicy scalps on that piece of it. So you get access to that as well as my technical analysis charts, and you just get to interact with me. I can update that a lot more than YouTube videos. And then of course the trading essentials class that I have as well, that actually has 6 different lessons in it that covers a lot of different indicators and oscillators, and really just kind of going from there. So cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the chart real quick. I'm going to start off looking at Doge here. And all in all, looks pretty healthy. I've been getting a lot of questions on Doge, a lot of people freaking out. You know, a little bit of FUD here, but you know, everything in my opinion looks pretty solid, looks pretty healthy here. You know, we're seeing these key indicators here completely reset, which is pretty typical for a 4th wave, which is what I'm looking at here. And I'm really just looking at this as an ABC correction. So I'm looking at this coming down right now for the C wave to complete its 5 wave with probably what looks like an ending diagonal. But I have this as our 1, 2, this would be our 3, 4, and then our 5 coming back down to retest the pivot, and which is right about 25 cents or so. So as long as we hold that, still pretty bullish when it comes to Doge. The ending diagonal that I'm seeing here would really be boom, 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 boom. So a little something like that, and then, you know, potentially blast off again and go from there. As far as the extensions go, let's see what that hits. 786, you know, pretty common in a lot of alts. So you can see the 618 tried to hold here, which is the 3rd wave, and then coming down for a 5th. But yeah, I'm looking to see a nice little bounce off 25 cents again, and then potentially take off to the races again after that. You know, we're seeing a little bit of bullish divergence form here with a little bit of a lower low, and a higher low here on the RSI, but nice to see that's completely reset within the bullish, or within the bearish control zone. So gives us a little bit more room to run, again, just like we did here. So definitely something to watch for as we are nearing that 25 cent mark. We'll go and put a little tag on it. Boom. All right. Perfect. Let's take a quick look at RIOT. RIOT has had a pretty interesting day. You know, from my last video that I was looking at, you know, I was really looking at this to come down and have a bounce here off the 618, which is at 36, and that we definitely got. It's just a matter of, with the wave structure here, you know, was this a temporary bounce? Because we can also come back down to the 786, which is at 31 and potentially 26. And we're also seeing a little bit of a dump right now for Bitcoin. So we'll see what that looks like tomorrow when it comes into the stocks here, and see when it actually opens up. You know, I'm looking at this. Let's look at a 15-minute on this move down. Now I would look for another leg. I'm seeing that as a 1, 2, 3, 4. You see a 5, so we are wave 1, 2. This would be our 3. This would be our 4, which would be okay, but we probably wouldn't have that big of a 5th leg. You know, so I'll probably be potentially looking at 31 here for the 786. So I'll have to pay, you know, close attention to that. Take a look at it once the market opens tomorrow, because it's a pretty big wave 1 and a pretty short wave 3. So we normally, when that happens, you know, we get a little wave 5. So I'll put a tag on 31 here. So we'll pay attention to that tomorrow. Let's see. The other one I want to take a quick look at is some ETH. So ETH here. Oh, so I wonder why it looked a little weird. All right, let's go back out to the 1 hour higher time frame here. So what's interesting with ETH is we had this move super quick, and then when I first charted this, we had this at the 618, and that, you know, we pretty much came down and tagged, and we just had a super quick buy up, and then we've also had you know, been continuing to set in higher highs as we've gone through and, you know, reset. So what's interesting with ETH is it's just been super, I guess, so much more bullish than what you know, Bitcoin has, because, you know, potentially we could be, the only thing that I don't like about this right here is we would have to have this basically, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So this would be our 1, this would be our 2, our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, basically. The only thing we could potentially be looking at is if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and basically if I had a little baby 4th wave, this is a 3rd, 4th with a truncated 5th. Just basically having an overextended 3rd right there. So that is something to potentially be aware of, because if that's the case, then you know, with this guy here, we could be looking at a potential impulse wave going up with this as a 1, this would be our 2. This have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be our 4th wave, and then going up again for a 5th, potentially to retest the top of the channel. The question then is, if we pull fibs on this guy, you can see that we did hit the 1.618. So, which is, you know, pretty typical of a 3rd wave going into the 4th, and then you can see that we have the 5th right about here at the 2.236, which is pretty close in line with that trend line as well, which basically, you know, the 1.618 is what we would see generally for a C wave. So if we get this other leg up, then we could be potentially kicking off with an impulsive wave for setting ETH up to make some higher highs. Generally, when that happens, we'll, you know, have a little bit of a retrace. We'll hit that, consolidate for a little bit. That could potentially be our wave 1, and then a 2, and then up again for taking off for the races. So with ETH being super more more bullish than what Bitcoin has, you know, it's not outside the possibility, because ETH has been making higher highs while Bitcoin's been making lower lows. So that's definitely something we want to pay attention to as we go through. The only other thing I could look at is for the bearish side of the scenario is if this was a 1, 2, 3 right here, and this is our A, this is our B, and then going up for a C. So if that is the case, that would then bring our extensions down to here, which would then put the 1.618 right here. Pretty much right in line with the trend line. So that would be a little bit more of the bearish case on this, where it would basically be an A, B, and then a C. So it's either way, you know, I see possibility for us to get up here to basically 26.13 in that ballpark. Yeah. Even here on the hourly, you can see we came back down and we're testing the bottom of the bullish control zone, trying to get back in it, finding support on these EMAs here. So it's just a matter if we get some continuation to the north side on it. And then last but definitely not least, little bit of Bitcoin here. Similar structure, I guess, corrective pattern than what we had in ETH in regards. I'm just seeing this drop as the connection for this one here, having this, really just a 3-wave move in the middle, and then having this as our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. And if that's the case, then potentially we could be looking at 50K. Or even just double bottoming, and that would put us basically back at 51.8 in that ballpark. But again, yeah, just kind of seeing this as the 4th wave and then down again for the 5th. So really, I'd see it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potentially another leg down, or even just double bottom on this guy, just because we're not necessarily seeing the continuation or the follow through with it. I wouldn't see this as an ending diagonal. I'm going to have to take a quick look at a shorter time frame. But this is kind of also why I really don't like to play, channel breakouts or trend line breakouts, because you can see that we broke that trend line and it just bought right back up. But basically this would have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe I'd have to dive into a smaller time frame. And if that's the case, really be looking at it. The 4th probably wouldn't get all the way back up there, but something like this here. So either way, that kind of gets us within that same range we're looking for. But we may come back up and retest this. This is the weekly resistance point that we have, basically 55.5. So that's one we want to pay attention to and watch as well. See what kind of reaction we get on it. But I know sometimes Bitcoin likes to kind of play and dance around, set in a slightly lower low. Which is why I was kind of looking at this 50K where we just get a quick wick through, even possibly breaking this trend line, and then just get right back, bought right back up and just again take off. And we'll see what ultimately where that goes. But nice little bounce off of the bearish control zone here. Possibly looking for a retest, first of the slow moving EMA, then the 50, and then possibly the 60 for the bullish control zone for some resistance, which could possibly get us back up there. But it's just a matter of, again, if we get follow through and some continuation. But overall, guys, again, not financial advice, just what I'm looking for in the markets. But hopefully I see you guys in the Discord. We get to interact, share some ideas, ask some questions, learn a thing or two from each other. But wherever you're at in the world, good evening, good morning, good night, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.